On my chat show, we have one rule. Nobody is allowed to plug their latest book, their latest film, their latest video, their latest hairdo, their latest whatever. Except, of course, for me. So, watch my programme. Tell them all about it, sugary-voiced woman.
Clarkson, tomorrow at 10 on BBC2.
We've got my puppy walker at the moment.
Yeah, right.
As you can see, I'm working with Scooby-Doo.
Been in like 2 years, mate.
1 second, please. Charlie Echo to 859. Go ahead.
Coming up, a rediscovered Monty Python broadcast, Monty Python's greatest hits, and the 5 living Pythons will be reunited in a BBC studio. But first, by satellite from LA, Eric Idle reveals the truth about the real Monty Python.
Most people could tell you exactly where they were the moment they first saw Monty Python, in front of a screen. That shows just how memorable it was. Since then, the individual members have all gone on to become quite elderly people, in one case even further. But little is known of Monty Python himself, the man who created the myth, a man who has been kept hidden away from the limelight by the selfish bastards of the Monty Python gang, perhaps the most ruthless band of self-centered comedians ever let loose on the planet. Who was this gentle man who now lives alone and slightly gaga in Harpenden? Who was Monty Python? Monty was educated at Old Queen's College, Cambridge, and when war broke out, he volunteered for the Women's Royal Army Corps. But his legs weren't good enough, and they put him in ENSA, the British Entertainment Unit. After the war, he began searching the colleges and public schools of England for a certain type of boy. But he was arrested and given 2 years in Panto. After he came out in 1962, he began to hang around Oxford and Cambridge and finally struck gold, saving John Cleese from a life of crime. He was going to become a lawyer, Graham Chapman from a ghastly career as a doctor, and successfully preventing Michael Palin from becoming a TV travel journalist for many years. He found Terry Gilliam in a flea market in Afghanistan. Terry Jones was hiding half naked in a dustbin in India, and Eric Idle was discovered at an all-girls school in Reading, where he claimed to be studying lipstick, underwear and the matron for an article in Spank magazine. These were the boys he was looking for. He went straight to the BBC and showed them certain photographs. The rest is history. In October 1969, Monty Python limped onto British television screens. Almost everybody who saw it did. There could be no doubt about it. It was a TV show. Pampered and spoiled, the cast soon became monsters. Maddened by success, they began to deny that Monty Python even existed. So, what about the real Monty Python? Is he still alive today? Well, technically, yes. He's on a life support system in an old jokes home in Surrey. When reached for tonight's tribute, he said, "Who?" and asked for a new bedpan. So the legendary wit has not dimmed with the passing of time and his colon. How fitting it would be if, to celebrate 30 years of his show, he were to be knighted by the Queen. What could be a more fitting tribute than if he finally became Sir Monty Python? Thank you.
Now, one of those shows where celebrities pay tribute to other celebrities. The BBC like those, they're dirt cheap and a lot of star names. Personally, I prefer biting the heads off whippets, but what can you do? Anyway, here it is. Enjoy. Or else.
Monty Python's Flying Circus, the self-styled comedy show responsible for the Dead Parrot sketch, Spam and the Ministry of Silly Walks, sketches which have since been subjected to irritating and, quite frankly, mystifying repetition by generations of unimaginative students. 30 years after the first broadcast of this so-called cult show, we ask, why bother watching?
Happy birthday, Pythons. Happy anniversary. In your honor, I'd like to just eat that fish.
I never quite knew what you did on television, and I have a confession, I've never seen your show, but I'm told it's acceptable.
Python somehow appeals to that sensibility, that sense of they are timeless.
Monty Python! Were they the ones that did the parrot sketch?
Well, was it the Monty Python about the parrot? That was a Monty Python, wasn't it?
An awful lot has been said about Monty Python over the years.
30 years, is it? Wow. Doesn't time fly?
Come on. Come on.
Here we go.
Never really seen the point of Monty Python, to be honest. Very derivative.
Monty Python? Never liked them. Sooner spend an evening with Alan Hansen.
Oh, well, I could never be rude. Not fucking much.
Cheers.
I mean, frankly, I think it would be better for everyone if they just died.
Silly, silly, silly. I'm not having things getting silly. Now, nobody likes a good laugh more than I do. Except perhaps my wife and some of her friends. Oh, yes, and Captain Johnson. Come to think of it, most people like a good laugh more than I do, but that's beside the point.